Hello, everyone on Disability Days with Dalton. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I am here with one of my best friends. We've grown up together practically. We went to the same high school. We've enjoyed each other's company, especially during COVID. We're really good friends, and I'd like to introduce you to him, Stephen Comander. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Dalton.
Thank you for being a part of my channel, my friend.
Anything for you, my friend.
And I understand as we were doing the pre-talk, you wanted to do a dedication. Am I
Mm-hmm.
correct?
You're correct.
Who are you? Who are we dedicating this to?
We're dedicating it to my cousin, who who tragically who who tragically passed away not too long ago. Her name was Lisa, and and um, and she was a really great cousin, and I miss her a lot. So,
Well, we are so sorry for your loss, Stephen. Bear with me
mm-hmm.
just a minute, folks. I'm doing a reposition, so just a heads up there. If you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat box, and I will make sure that they're passed on. As a disclaimer, for those of you who are new to the channel, me nor Stephen are experts, so to speak. We're not medical experts, but we have, with our disabilities, we can relate and speak from our own experience. Okay, Stephen, so I'm going to ask you a few other questions while we're waiting on questions or comments to come in. Again, if you are watching this on my YouTube channel, all you have to do is put your comment in the chat and I will be able to read it. And without further ado, how do you approach challenges and obstacles that are due to cerebral palsy?
Um, I um, I use I use a lot of I use a lot of analogies. Um, I I um, I I um, I I try not to, I try not to uh, let it let it let it get let it get me down, but sometimes it just does, Um,
Exactly.
um,
Like we, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but yeah, we all have been trying that.
um, but but yeah, um, yeah. One of the one of the things that that kind of that kind of bugs me
Mm-hmm.
is like when people think they know more than we do, and we're the ones
Exactly.
that
Like
had it for forever, and and again I know we're not I know we're not experts at it, but we do but we do kind of metaphorically speaking, we do kind of have a green jacket and all this kind of stuff. We do kind of have our masters in
yeah,
this kind of field, um and so um but um but yeah, it's things like driving a car, or things like um, or things like wanting a relationship, or things, um, or things that other people take for granted, that we wish we could just do for ourselves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and um, and I'm sure, and I'm sure from your experience, Dalton, that you can kind of speak to the same thing a little bit. Um, um, but yeah. Um, so,
So, um, just for other people to understand, um, and I'm not going to let him go in deep about this, but just like most of my other um, friends who I've interviewed on here, Stephen also was born with CP. Like myself, I was born with CP. For those of you who don't know, I have CP, which is short for cerebral palsy, brain damage, epilepsy, but we're still not going to let that stop us.
no.
Which leads me into my next question. How do you not let it stop you? Like, how do you keep moving?
Um,
What's your motivation?
I just I just keep, I just keep, I it's my motivation would probably be the Exceptional Foundation of the Gulf Coast. Um, it it uh, it's a it's a it's a place for people with special needs to kind of go and hang out, with special needs adults that um that want a place to hang out and be with their friends, and and, so, and socialize and interact with other people, and and shout out to Jennifer Flatter, she's watching.
Yeah, shout out to everybody uh, who is a part of it and all of
Mm-hmm,
our friends and family.
mm-hmm.
And if you guys, like I say, if y'all have any questions, feel free to put those into the comments area. And either myself or Steven will answer those. Or if you even want to give us a shout out, feel free to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so, Steven, let's see what else I have here. So, what advice would you give to other people who are living with CP like we are?
Mm-hmm. Um, I would just say that I would just say that that, that you're that you're that you're not alone. That you have like your friends and your family who want to who want the best for you. Um, um, I would um, I would say that say that um, that there that there are that there are things about it that are that are that are challenging. Um, but um, but I mean it's not the I mean it's not the it's not the end of the world. Even though sometimes I would understand how you would think that, but it's not. Um, but
Yeah, just keep going.
mm,
Let's see. Daniel says, uh, mm, Daniel Commander, what do you know?
uh,
What are some things non-disabled people could do to make the world easier for you? That's a good question, Daniel. I'm gonna let Stephen take this, and I'll put my first. I'll put my own opinion in.
uh, well, 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 Daniel, whoever you are, um, I would, I would say that, um, I would say that, I mean, I would say like just don't, um, don't, don't like, don't flaunt the fact that y'all can do things that we can't. Don't don't say like don't you know don't don't um uh don't you know like you know like ooh, ooh, look at ooh, look at us, look at what we can do. Um it's it's just and if Dalton would like to add anything. um
Yeah, and people with disabilities, no matter what disability they are, don't
mhm,
try to. If you're want to be, if you see somebody with a disability, don't
mhm,
think, oh well, I can't be near that person because I'm going to get what they have. No, a disability isn't a disease. Yes, it's what we're born with, but it
yes,
isn't a disease.
yes, and don't like and don't oh my gosh and don't like and don't assume that just because you have a disability that you can't have and want those things that everybody else wants and has. And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
exactly. And for a person who does, if you see a person who has a disability, if you feel like you need to help them, don't go up and start helping them, because we may do it a different way than you're used to doing it. Ask
mhm,
if we need help, and then if we say yes, we do need help, then you can help us, especially people who are visually impaired.
yeah,
Uh, Me being legally blind as well,
mhm,
I haven't had this happen, but I've have a few blind friends who have been out um, doing stuff, and like people will try to guide them without like just grab their cane. No, you don't want to do that,
mhm,
because we will think that you're, even though you think that you're trying to help, we may think of it as a different way.
mhm,
So if you do want to help someone, especially with a visual impairment or just any disability,
yeah,
ask first. Don't assume that the person with the disability needs help.
yeah.
And if they ask for help, then feel free to help them.
Yeah. And don't and yeah and uh, and I would and I would also say to another point, to a point that I made earlier. I'm like also if you research the stuff on the computer, it's a lot different when you research it versus having it, versus having to live with this on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot different than like say like you know like like people can like research how to play how to play football. It doesn't make them Vince Lombardi. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know, it or it doesn't make them Terry Saban's husband. You know what I mean? It um but yeah but um and it's not about it's not that it's not that you it's not that you're mad. It's mainly that you're very, 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 very frustrated with
exactly.
certain things. Like like you're not you're not mad at anyone or anything. You're you're just very frustrated with the situation.
Exactly.
And um and yeah, so um
And real quick, guys, if you are watching, I'm sure everybody's watching this on my YouTube channel, but if you haven't done so already, there's two things I've. Please keep the questions coming in, but also please hit the like button. And if you're just watching this for the first time and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can get notifications about whenever I go live or if I post.
and he's trying to hit 5 billion subscribers. So
Yeah,
uh,
I'm trying to get up there. I used to have a TikTok channel, but
yeah,
with everything going there crazy, I decided to move over to YouTube.
yeah.
So I'm still trying to grow. So if you would also hit, like I said, hit that share with your friends, especially people who um, don't know about people with disabilities.
Mm.
And a replay of this will be uploaded. It may not come up right away, but it will be uploaded to YouTube. So,
Mm.
um,
Yeah. Um,
and for those of you who just are coming in, for myself, um, I I'm legally blind, brain damage, epilepsy, and CP. CP is cerebral palsy.
mhm. And
And I'm still here.
yeah, yeah, which is a good thing.
Yes,
It's better to be it, as one of my as one of my favorite as one of my favorite rappers used to say, every day above ground is a blessed day. So,
exactly.
um, but um, but
And you're welcome, Daniel. We're glad we were able to help you. Daniel said, "Thank you for the great information."
yeah. I
And you,
don't know. Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. I don't know. I don't know how he got. I mean, I don't know how he got into the chat. I mean, he's just, you know, he's a goofball, but I love him. He's my brother, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves you too.
Yeah, and if you ever need need to know how to talk English properly, he's the correct guy to go to for that. But he's just wonderful. But enough about the enough about the enough about the Bush family stuff. But but
Do you have any questions you want to ask me, Stephen?
How does it feel for you when you have like accomplished something like say getting a girlfriend or getting a job, or how does that make you feel compared to the rest of the people that are that it's so easy for them to be able to get out and meet other people,
Honestly, it feels good. At least have some responsibility and stuff to do. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are watching in our neck of the woods, this coming Thursday at the no, excuse me, uh, not Thursday, Friday, April 28th, if you want to put it on your calendars. I'll be at the there's a special event at the Three Circle Church in Daphne called Partnering with Parents, and my job, AMC, will be having a booth there. There will be a bunch of different booths for different organizations. And my company will be having a booth there. So
yeah, and also back to the job and also you having a girlfriend.
yeah,
It feels like you're it feels like you're at the I don't know you're at the big kids table. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
what I mean? Like
I know.
like you're
Yeah, it's
it's like when you have like a party and you have all these adults sitting at this big old table talking about um uh, like work and stuff, and then you're sitting over here at this little kiddie table talking about Peppa Pig or something. It's like totally, it's totally different. A different conversation over here than it is over here.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the girlfriend, we do talk all the time.
Yeah.
I talk with Devin pretty much every day before I go to bed and whenever I wake up in the morning. And if you guys have not seen the interviews I've done with her, feel free to go back and watch those. Also, I did a 3-part vlog back in October of last year where I went out to see her, actually surprised her. Like, we're over 1,000 miles apart, but thanks to technology, we can still be able to communicate with each other, which is a blessing in itself.
Yep. and talk about technology. I mean, I'm kind of an expert at technology, but but I would say, I would say, I would probably say, the rest of the rest of the people in my house have got along with Jack when it comes to technology. um, but but anyway, um,
And for those of you who are watching this on a replay, if you're watching it later, if your answer didn't get if your question didn't get asked, feel free to ask away. Make sure you put um, before your question, put in parentheses either myself, Dalton, or Stephen in parentheses before your question, and then one of us will respond to your question that you have. Please keep them appropriate, though, guys. That's another thing with people with disabilities. Other people who don't have disabilities will, how you say, be on the downside, and then they will try to bring themselves up by bringing others down. I'm sure a lot of people without disabilities have been there too, but it's especially hard for people who do have disabilities. Because we've both been there in school.
mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody I'm sure has.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but mm, what would you? I got it. I got a question for you, Dalton.
Go ahead.
Um, what what would you say? What would you say to a person that says that you can't do something?
Watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I'd say. I mean, like, yeah, I may not be able to do everything that you can do,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that's easy for me to do and you look at me and say, oh, well, you can't do that, I'd just say, watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'd probably end up trying to do it better than they did.
Mm-hmm. Um, and but um, um, yeah, and I also I also like you like um does it does it do you ever ever get ever get um ever get ever get frustrated with it, Dalton?
All the time.
Um
I mean, whenever I was younger, whenever I was in school, I would be on my way somewhere, and like occasionally I still do. I mean, like I'll see.
You have disabled this skill. Please enable it in the Alexa app.
Excuse my A lady. But I would like, yeah, I still kind of want to drive and be able to at least go out to places. And yeah, I know I can't,
Right.
but I still have family that can take me out whenever I want to,
Right.
if they're up to it.
Right. And uh and maybe you maybe you can touch on this more than I can, um but how do you feel knowing that you are the age that you are and you're still living with your mom? You know what I mean? Like you're still living
Um,
with.
Honestly, I'm okay with it because I can help her when she needs the help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like a call away. Like she could call me right now, and I would be in there to help her out
Mm-hmm.
with whatever she needed.
Yeah. Again, again, it's it's like it's like for me, it's like the Kentucky Derby, and your horse is having it, and your horse is having trouble getting out the starting gate, and everybody
Yeah,
else is like, and everybody else is like 10, 10 miles ahead of you or something, and it's just it's um it's just um it's it's hard, um but um but uh but um but it's
but we're like I said before, we're still not letting it
right,
define us.
right, not right, right,
And for those people who do have a disability, if they're watching, who have CP, I was just thinking of this because you introduced me to it. So how about you mention it about
oh yeah,
with
um oh yeah, there's this thing on Twitter
or
that's
X
or X or whatever, that's every like Wednesday night for 2 hours, and it is and it's co- and it's called CP Chat now. You can chat with other people on on Twitter/X, and you can just comment and they'll comment back, and it's sort of like a support group for people with special needs, and and it's like like you can meet like a person in Ohio that I know. There's a person there's a person in Texas that I know. Um there, there's a girl that's not with us anymore, but she's from Canada, and she that I know, and so it's from all over the world basically. Um and and so um, and I would say also that when I was when I was when I was younger, it didn't the CP never really bothered me as much as it does now. You know, as I've gotten older, it's like it's like it's like what I said before. It's like it's like you're 32 years old. You live with your parents. you know what I mean? Like, it 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 just makes it makes it weird. It's like if I ever had if I ever got a girlfriend and stuff, and I said, hey, you want to come back over to my place where my parents live? And they're like, oh my god, that person lives with his parents, and it's like, you know, so, but but that's what's going on in my head and
Yeah,
stuff.
and like
So,
for me, um, I've been in quite a few relationships, and I was that same way at first, and then it took me kind of a bit to um, get over it because like most of the um, girls I was dating
mm-hmm,
also lived with their parents. So
mm-hmm, um, but but yeah, but but I will tell you that 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 I am thankful for every friend that I've ever had in my life, and I really am thankful for everybody. But who I'm most thankful for is the man I'm talking to right now.
I appreciate that, Stephen. I really do.
I I just I just couldn't get I just couldn't get through the past months or the past couple of days without him. It's it's yeah, so um
Yeah, that's what friends are for.
mhm,
I mean, like I said before, we've been friends like ever since high school, and
yeah.
we are still going to be friends until the end, as they say,
Until
the end of
until
time.
until we are below ground.
Exactly.
And even then, we're still gonna be friends. Um, but um, but
And just so you guys know, if you're, I see 4 people in here. If there's any questions that you guys still have, feel free to drop those in. And I am going through some questions, um, but that doesn't mean that they can't be your questions. If there's a question that you have, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll read it off.
mhm.
All right. My next question for you, Stephen, is about stress. Um,
um,
how do you manage stress and maintain a positive attitude?
um, I just um, I just try to I just you know you know I just keep I just keep thinking of that uh, of that of that book, The Little Engine That Could. You know, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Um, but but it um um but I but I try to but I try to um but I try to handle it the best way I can. Um, it is it is as at yeah as a person in my life that is that is that has told me this with like anger and stress and all that stuff. It's just it's not that you're it's not that you're having a it's not that you're having a hissy fit. It's it it's just that you're kind of you're kind of again again angry about the situation that you're in and like I know it's the card we were dealt, but it's a pretty but I mean when you look at that card, it's kind of it, it's torn slightly. Somebody's bitten off part of the card. It's full of mud. It's it, it's just kind of a crinkled up little playing card, and the rest have all these beautiful playing cards to play with. So, um, but anyway, um, I hope that I hope that answers your question.
It did. And for me, like, I'll try to either find a really good movie that will make me laugh or listen to music, or if the weather's good, go for a walk.
Yeah.
I try to at least get like 10,000 steps a day, or usually I'll just end up going for like an hour of a walk.
Yeah, and and I'll tell you what, what helps me, and Dalton's been the been the beneficiary of this many times. Is is just talking with friends, kind of like a way of like of like releasing, some of that, some of that um
Ten-
stuff,
yeah,
and and so yeah, so
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
anyway, and that's why I try to have I try to have I try to I try to have as many friends as possible. Um, because friends make the besides the axis, friends make the world go round.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for friends, and the world would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We'd
Um,
be in a crazy world.
yeah, and I would and I would and I would like to and I would like to just touch on how how not how nice your girlfriend is, Dalton. I mean, she's just the. I mean, I mean, she's just the. She's just the greatest. I mean, and I know that you, and I know that you, and I know that you feel differently about her than I do. Um, but, um, but she, but she just is. It's, um, just that Devin Brower and Trudy Brower are the best people in the world, I think. And I've been lucky enough to get to meet them virtually, as I like to say. Um, they, um, they, yeah. So, um, but, but, um, um, but I would also like to send a shout out, if I can, to my aunt and uncle who live in who are from Texas, and my cousin and my cousin's girlfriend, and um and and I just and I just love you guys so much. Um, but but um, so,
Okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Here you were talking about not getting interrupted, and I got interrupted.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Sorry about the reverb too. So, anyway, yeah, I was, everything's good now,
Yeah.
and we got a few more minutes. Again, I apologize to everybody. I was having some technical problems on my side, and I did hear everything you heard. You were saying, but you couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm gonna ask anyone in the chat to, if you have any questions or comments you would like to leave, like I've been mentioning, please feel free to drop those in, and we will answer those comments, or no, we'll answer those questions or respond to the comments. And since I am back, I'm going to delete my own comment. There we go. And just for people to understand, what happened was a friend of mine was calling me on Messenger, and here I was telling Stephen to put his phone on Do Not Disturb, but I didn't put mine on Do Not Disturb. And my friend called me, which my phone and my iPad, which I'm talking to you guys on, are connected together. And since I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb, whenever my friend called me, it cut off my mic for that phone call. So that's pretty much what happened. So I apologize for that.
No worries. Just keeping the folks entertained.
And I appreciate that. And I apologize again, guys. I wasn't really expecting that. Some things sometimes live can be kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just ask. Just ask Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos.
Yeah, or like the local news.
I mean, they
Thank
laugh,
you.
I mean, they're, um, but, um, but, and I was saying I was saying to Dalton before we went live, I was saying if you wanted me to do any future videos with him, I would be more than happy to. So you might hear this voice again down the road. You just never know.
Yep. And then we're gonna actually try to get his brother in on this.
At some point, yeah, I gotta check with him and check about his scheduling and all that, and I also gotta work with your schedule, Dalton.
Yeah.
If you're not working at the movie theater, we can try to work something out.
And if anyone would like to be interviewed, if you have a disability or know somebody that has a disability and you'd like to be featured on my channel, you can send an email with the subject disability interview request to D as in dog, all lowercase, Haddix, Hotel Alpha, Delta Delta, India X-ray, 4107 at gmail.com. Again, put in the subject line disability interview request. And then I give me some kind of contact of how I can reach you. And then we'll set up a interview. And then I'll ask you a few questions. That way, I'd be able to tell you if I could do it this way or through Skype. I can even do it through Zoom, but I can't do big groups on Zoom. So if you're interested, just send an email to D Haddix 4107 at gmail.com. Disability interview request. And give me some way of contacting you. Preferably a phone number. It can be like a Google Voice or something like that, just something where I can reach you. And if you want me to text you, just put text so I can do it that way.
And I would like to also give a shout out to Anita Drummond and Anita Howard and Jim Howard, too, as well. So.
And we may end up. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? And I may end up wrapping us up a little early.
No, I think I'm good. I just really appreciate you, Dalton, and
No problem. I appreciate you being on my channel, and thank you for being here.
you're welcome. Because I like to talk about it, because it helps.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I'm gonna leave everyone with my saying that I say at the end of every video. Everyone has a disability. You just can't always see it. Again, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you do subscribe, hit that notification bell and make sure all notifications are turned on. That way you know whenever I go live. And we will see you guys either in the next interview or my next post. Until then, peace.
Peace.